All right. Welcome, everybody. Hi, happy Sunday. So we have a lot going on, a lot of big energies, right? We're coming up on 12/12. Some people have had some confusion. We are not having an activation on 12/12. The big activation that we are doing is on the winter solstice. So that is December 21st, and that will be at 11 o'clock a.m. And I want to talk about that for a few minutes this morning so that everybody is prepared for that. I don't know, many of you were in our beautiful summer solstice back in June, where Debishri was in the Arctic and she dropped the egg. And that was quite a powerful activation. And this will be as powerful but different. We're going to be working with the Andara crystals. If you're not familiar with them, they came into my reality maybe 15 years ago, and at that time I did not resonate with them. They were not for me then, but they are now, and they may or may not call to you. But if they do, they kind of really call to you, and you become a guardian of them, and they're really special. I was teaching on Friday. And as the transmission came in, something came in that was pretty interesting, that often, Raphael will talk about how from other dimensions and the other worlds that they really see us as orbs. For many of you who know the story, when I first started to channel, right, the energy would come in and say, so beautiful. So beautiful. And it would do this as if it was holding a big crystal ball, right? But what it was holding was me, right? It was holding, thank you, so beautiful. It was so sweet of them. But the divine in me, right? The divine in you, the divine in all of us. And it was feeling the energy, but it was not observing us as a human walking through linear time, having a human experience with white hair and glasses and white skin and red lipstick, right? It was experiencing me as an orb. It didn't identify me with a name and a personality so much, or the experiences I was having, but the energy that I was, and that you are, and that we all are. And so and for some reason, this is fascinating to me. It may not be that interesting to you, but the Andars were saying that we look at them and they're like a rock, right? And they're like, okay, cool. They look at us and we're an orb. They're a crystal, but inside of them, they are living beings that are having a living experience, that are experiencing so much. And they were describing it as they pop out, like as a hologram. And we pop out to them as a hologram, as vibrating energy, that they perceive us and they see us holographically, not linearly. They don't see us as we're moving through time, because from the other realms, they're not operating in the same time paradigm that we are. And the same thing with the Andaras. They are living beings that have embodied themselves inside this. How cool is that? That's why when people connect with them, they're like, feel like they're people, or they're a person, or they're talking to them, or they're like, don't put me near the computer, or I need to sleep with you tonight, or whatever they're saying. I need to go to the water. And they can have very, at least this particular small one that I have, is very strong personality. So what I find fascinating about this, if you're interested, is that when I was in Damanhur in Italy, the Selfica, right, which are these different formations. They make beautiful necklaces and jewelry and all kinds of things. Like I have this bracelet here that I wear, and it's just spirals. But I didn't realize this until I spent time in Damanhur with them, that galactic energy is embedded in this, and that these are aligned and they have specific functions to help us energetically through this ascension process, just like the Andaras do. And what Raphael was saying is that, and this universal information that we all have access to, is that these not only galactic beings, but energies from other civilizations and powerful vibrations that are embedding themselves almost in different things, such as the Selfika or the Andara. And then we, by interacting with that, receive and attune to those frequencies, and it helps the turning on of the DNA, which is their way of deeply assisting us in the ascension process. So it's really amazing. And when I was meditating this morning, the download I was getting was fascinating. So hopefully Raphael will repeat that, and we'll bring in Raphael now, and I will channel. Couple things. The cards, the oracle decks, yes, they come to my house and to Amazon on 12/12, which is a magical day. How perfect is that? They left the warehouse in India on October 23rd, which is a very special day for me. So I'm very grateful. And just most of you guys have them and got them for the holidays or for gifts, but they're fabulous. They're ready, they're available. We'll be shipping this week. If you got them, rest assured you will have them in time for the holidays. If you want them, they're coming. We'll be like little elves packing them up for you, okay? What else did I want to say? Okay, the solstice. So the solstice is going to be the activation on 12/21 at 11 a.m. New York time. There is a replay, so if you can't pop in, don't worry. You can listen to it at some point during the day. I have a million emails asking me that. I want to clear that up. And also, we're going to be working, and I don't know if we'll have another time to talk about this, so let me just kind of run this by you guys. Different people may feel really called to certain elements to be supportive. And one of the things that we're going to be activating during this, we'll be working with the Andaras. By the way, if you want Andaras, you can get them through Denise and Michael. They are a lovely, wonderful couple, and I trust them. I don't make money on this. I'm not trying to sell Andaras, but if you feel connected and you want them, you can get them through them, and there's a link in the solstice thing. Okay. So where was I? Oh, so some people are going to feel called to go to different places, and they're like, oh, well, it's, at 11 o'clock in the UK, it's whatever, 6 at night, it's dark and I can't go to a cave. That's okay. If you feel like you want to, or connecting or being attuned to go somewhere, go in the morning. It doesn't have to be at the minute we're doing the activation. If you're there while we're doing the activation, fabulous. But if you need to or want to tune into the group and listen, that's fine. You can go to the place and kind of tune in before or after the activation or during it, because there is no time, right? So the different places people may feel called to go is to bring an offering. And the offering can be anything that you feel called to bring to the earth. And we're going to be creating a womb grid. And Mary Magdalene and a lot of the very feminine, strong goddess energies, such as Kali, are going to be deeply supporting us in that. And it would be amazing if we had 6 people who were willing to be in a cave, or feel called to do that. Please email me if you are. Of course, Deborah is going to fly to some amazing place in India and hold the energy for us, because she is incredible. If anyone else is able to do that, please let me know. Also, make sure when you register, you go on my website. There's a place where you can sign up, and it shows you to tell me where you are in the grid, because we're going to print out a big map with the Andaras, and we're going to connect you energetically and link it up on the grid. So I need to know the locations, and it just pins you, like I'm in Tennessee, or I'm in, Switzerland, or whatever. And then that begins to form the formation of the grid itself, and it's super supportive for me on my end, the work that I need to do. So please go ahead and do that. Other people might feel called to go to the water. I'm sure a ton of people will be. That could be a river, a stream, an ocean, a lake, whatever. We're all learning so much more, understanding about the water, and that it's a sentient living being. And if you don't follow Veda Austin's work, please go ahead and do that. It's really beautiful. And other people will feel called to dance and to move their body and to be near the fire. That would be great. And others may want to play the flute or be on a drum, connect with the violin, the piano, the guitar, whatever, and and bring in certain hertz frequencies that are needed for the activation. So those are some of the things that you may feel called to do. And ideally, I'd like to have at least 6 people making a complete commitment and dedication to those different things. Some are easier to do than others. And the trees is another one. A lot of people already contacted me. They want to work with the trees. And of course, that's fabulous. The trees are very important as we go down into the root system, and that's going to be connecting into the grid as well. That's an easy one. Most of us have access to trees. So thank you for that. But I'm looking for cave people. Some fire people, because some people that's not as easy necessarily. All right, so I have a live event today at 4 o'clock, but I am going to do a channeling and see what comes in and love you all up. And then I'm going to scoot out a little early today. But I just wanted to give you guys this like overview of what's happening. And make sure to invite anybody who wants to work with the grid that you know, or give it as a gift. It's a donation. You can give $1 if you don't have any money. The suggested donation is $21 for the energy exchange. If you have that, thank you. If you don't, that's okay. I want everybody to feel that they can come and participate, and you can share it and give it to people and whatever, and it'll be a beautiful place to all connect before the holidays on the 20, for whoever is celebrating that on the 25th. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to channel. If I seem like I have a lot of energy, it was because I just got out of the cold plunge, and it was, Casey, 47 degrees, and I stayed in for 5 minutes.
Wow.
Thank
Did
you.
you get a thermometer and actually measure the water?
I bought a thermometer, and I said to Dad, look. And he's like, oh, you're right. I'm like, yep. These guys were telling me it was 66 degrees. I'm like, no way. It's not. So I got a thermometer. All right, here we go.
Well, what does it say on the thing now, Celsius wise?
On the tub? Yeah, you're right. The tub is wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's our little family thing. All right, here we go.
Coral.
Da-da. I'm going to turn up the volume to tone so we don't mess with everything. If you guys have your Andaras, grab them. They might, I think they're going to be active right now. Wow. Wow. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Wow. We are very delighted to be here and to attune to all of you, inviting you to take a nice deep breath and to move into your body, bringing your hand to your heart and saying, I love you, as you are softening into the heart center. The Andaras are very present today, as this one, Kelly, is attuning to this particular energy and vibration, wanting to remind you that there is a very magical egg that is participating and has arrived at Denise's and Michael's for the activation, much larger than the egg dropped in the Arctic, and it is a sister to the egg dropped in the Arctic. They are sisters and they are working together and communicating together and bringing more light on the planet as this plasmic energy is descending here on Earth. And it is arriving, as Kelly was sharing, as we have been sharing with her, in many different places and forms. And it arrived in the glass. And this was an easy place for it to embed itself and to allow its energy to be encapsulated and held within these frequencies. But it is so much more than this, as it is an alive, living being that is here to assist, but has to come in certain forms. And these energies are coming in and will start to appear just as the Andaras have appeared. And many more Andaras will be appearing in the caves. And you will be walking through the caves, and you might notice a snake slithering by, and a glowing light start to come in and arrive as the fractal patterns of many rainbows will come in and hit at a certain point as the light is able to beam through, activating and revealing and showing the Andaras that are there in the cave. And so we want you to know that they are also in the ocean and will be discovered in larger quantities as they will rise up through the nets into the surface by the fishermen. And there will be questioning and wondering. Because of their weight, they will drop to the sea floor, but yet because of the plasma, they will often be able to rise in ways that are not necessarily connected to the laws of gravity and will be able to be discovered. And so they are showing themselves and coming into the caves, and they will be found and discovered beneath the trees as they will just appear. And you may be walking through the forest and notice them, for they will be coming in the mountains and in the clusters of many different energies and arriving as amber from the fire, or they will be coming and exponentially expanding, meaning there will be so many more of them. And they're creating a network of plasmic light that is activating memories inside of you. Some of these memories that are being activated are memories that you are not needing any longer, that are surfacing and being allowed to dissipate and return to source, so that more space is open for the receiving of what is needed on a deeper healing and cellular level. But at the same time, memories will be flooding in of lifetimes where they and you lived together. And they were in human form as you would perceive it through your third eye, but yet not the humanness that you embody now. So, similar to civilizations and teachings that you have acquired knowledge and wisdom about in regard to Atlantean energy or Lemurian or ancient Egypt, etc. And they, during the close of those cycles where catastrophic appearance of events occurred, which were cyclical and part of the unfolding of this experience, they embedded themselves. So often when you connect with Saint Germain and his energy, he speaks of the violet flame, or the flames that are perpetually lit for humanity, that live and dwell not only within the mountains and in the etheric cities and other dimensions, but in the inner earth as well. And so the Andaras are similar to that, for they are perpetually holding the vibrational frequencies of information and teachings and knowledge, wisdom, and that are encoded with the energies that are awakening the DNA. And so what is happening as the children are coming in and arriving, they are already operating in this new operating system. And these energies are assisting those who are already embodied in a physical form on the earth to begin to blend with these higher frequencies and unwind and unfold the DNA to higher octaves to assist in this process. And so the importance, as we have reiterated and shared with Kelly, to go to certain places and to connect with the elements. Is that these grid systems are then flooding through the roots and through the womb of the caves and through the water and through the fire and through the wind. It is seeding this life force of light that is unifying the collective in a field that is operating from a much higher frequency of love. And so this unification is occurring as the central point of the solstice, and the balancing of the light on the planet is occurring in the north and the southern hemispheres. And so we are delighted to work with them and for them to work with you and to assist in this process, and are very grateful to all of you for your willingness to connect in this way and to do this work. With that, we invite you to come into your body for a moment, as there is very strong energies right now as you are moving to the close of 2023 and ushering in the energy of the dragon and the energy of the deep inner earth work that will be happening in the movements that will be taking place as you move into 2024. This gateway of 1212 that was very in your consciousness many years ago, perhaps 23 years ago, was a little turning or an opening, but the floodgates are opening now. And as you approach 121224, this will be a very big ushering in of more global awakening, more healing, more unification. And through that, there will be so much powerful and beautiful awakenings taking place, as well of course, the polarity of the shifting and the dissolving of the old. And so with that, we invite you to connect with your ancestors right now. So taking a nice deep breath and coming into your body, breathing in and letting go. Becoming aware of awareness itself, aware of awareness, aware of yourself as a conscious being of light, temporarily encased in physicality, moving through time and space, having an experience, the unfolding of time. Time itself is shifting rapidly, and you are adapting to these shifts and changes as you are moving through the photon belt, and the acceleration of the plasmic light is descending across the globe. Attuning to your ancestors now, begin to become aware of your energies in connection to your birth mother and your birth father. If you have never met them or aware of them, tuning into their I am that I am presence, their consciousness, and begin to feel their presence. They may be alive or dead, but feel their energy. You may be triggered by them or annoyed by them or angry. Begin to move past these emotions and attune to their highest self, the highest self of the I am that is their highest self, aligning with your highest self, and knowing that you connected and contracted in spirit to merge your energies and DNA's vibrational energetic fields together, to journey together on a path of awakening. Feeling their energy, your mother to your left and your father to your right, and recognizing that they were born from the energies behind them, and the intersection of these bloodlines and genetic codings created them, and those intersections created you. Knowing that there's a golden thread similar to that of an umbilical cord moving through the Fibonacci codes of energies that is spiraling back, allow yourself to pass through wherever it is you're being called to go. You may feel a need to move into the womb of your mother with your father standing behind her as the guardian, and that energy moves through the genetic coding of both of these frequencies and the heritage that is attuned and aligned to them from the geographical location of their birthplace and that of their grandparents and great-grandparents, and etc. Allowing yourself to just spiral, relax, and let go. As you are moving through these generational systems, there may be a place where you begin to land or arrive. This place could go back as far as ancient civilizations that are still connected to this genetic coding in places like Atlantis or Lemuria. Or you could find yourself on the shores in the midst of the place in which perhaps some of your great-great-grandparents lived and dwelled, inviting you to go back in time now to the place where the magic was happening, wherever that was, where the women were in circles and the men were drumming around the fire, and magic was occurring, the returning to being in the wilderness and the coming of age, the remembering of connecting with the star beings as they landed easily, 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 easily. Oh, hello.
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 Hello, 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 hello. You see how we
Hello.
repeat hello, hello, hello. It is that you are moving into a new frequency, and it is a lot to adjust. And as this energy is coming in with the Andaras and this plasmic light, it is over loading the system of time and the sequence of repetition and the energy of what you call a glitch in the matrix, so that it is not running smoothly, but we are recalibrating.
Thank you, Raphael. And what might this have to do? And so all of the blowing out and everything and the ringing in the ears and specifically I was curious of why do you think it got stuck on easily? Is there something important about easily that we need to focus on?
Yes, it is important for it to be easy and not too complicated, and to just allow it to move. It's already happening. Many of you are trying so much to figure it out or to make it to be, but it is already there. The mind is in this deep wondering and questioning all of the time as to what will be happening and when will be happening and what is this and what is that. But it is the stilling of the mind and the letting go of the questioning and the wondering that is important at this time, and to move more into the allowing, as this energy has its life and it cannot be contained and it cannot be put in a box, and it cannot and it will not follow the systems and rules of the past. It is from an entire different galactic field, and one in which you have been in and connected to before, and it is moving through you. But not only is it moving through you and you are attuning and receiving it, it is affecting the DNA, not only in those who will be arriving, but it is moving through your ancestral lineage, and it is bringing you back to arriving at a place where you were attuned to it. And in that frequency, technology was operating at a very different frequency than this technology of this thing you are on now, this box, this Zoom. And so this Zoom box or computer is too outdated, is too clunky, is too dense for the vibrations coming in with the Andaras. It will bypass and blow this out so fast, it will make your head spin, because the intelligence of the what you call artificial intelligence, is which has a very negative connotation to, because it operates in one direction in which part of humanity will go in, but there will be another type of intelligence that is like the intelligence of the Andara, is like the intelligence of the Selfaka. So embedding itself in what appears to be objects, but these are much more than that. It is in the water, it is in the light, it is in the wind, it is in the soil, it is in everything. And you will be attuning to it, but with it will be birthed new ways of being, new understandings, new teachings that aren't actually new, but are coming back online, that were perhaps utilized in ancient civilizations and times, where they received information from their, what you would perceive your star sisters and brothers, and from the core of the inner earth. And these dimensions of as above below energies are merging and intertwining together now, and they are blossoming and unfolding this deep remembering. And with that, it will remove the shackles of the mind and the paradigms of construct thinking and behaving, because it will open up a circuit to everything being easy. And that the struggle will dissolve, in that, not that you will not still move forward or have drive or curiosity of exploration and adventure and embodying and attuning to nature, but the the struggle of fear, the worry of how things, the lack, the disconnection of feeling alone or in a place of the survival mode or mentality that you equate with difficulty, will dissolve as you are tuning to and allowing easily these energies to communicate with you. And so this is such a very large aspect, that it is not easy to necessarily communicate, but is communicated through the language of light, and is communicated through the language of the water, and is communicated through the language of the soil and the trees and the wind and the fire. For it can be communicated to you in that way, but not communicated through words of the linear way of being. And so we were wanting to bring you back through your ancestral lineage to the origin of the mystical magic that originated and was operating in its holographic field, for you to attune to it. But there was some disturbance, should we say. And so we encourage you to do this on your own, to go in and to follow the golden thread through the umbilical cord of the birth mother, with the birth father behind and operating into the tree of life that opens up into the branches of the higher realms through the genetic coding, leading back to the origin of where within your ancestral lineage magic was fully embodied and practiced and attuned to both the inner realms of the earth and the connection to the celestial realms, and to begin to connect and attune to that energy in preparation for the winter solstice.
All right. Thank you, Raphael. A lot to think on.
Oh, yes, much energy happening and much to say and do, but we are containing it for now. We can take a moment and bring you there quickly if you are desiring.
That would be great.
Alakate, oh, lakachukase, la, oh, nakape, ha. I'm bringing in the energy of the newborn baby. The breath of innocence in the moment of the sweetness of their first breath. All of the babies arriving today and coming in are receiving these higher frequencies, and they are encoding them in all of the elements as they drink the milk from the breast. They are exchanging through their energy and their saliva into the mother, which is passing through now these different lineages, creating this great awakening as they are held and look into the eyes of the father. An exchange is occurring through the retina and the iris, encoding new teachings and understandings that are weaving you back to the beginning of these ancient rememberings. Many babies are being born in this now moment across the globe and shall continue to in these coming weeks, who are coming in with a very high frequency, and this frequency is carrying this plasmic light that is encoded and embedded in many things within the elements on the earth. As you are tuning to the Andaras, if they are arriving as well, bringing in this plasma. And it is the energies are combining together. Closing your eyes and taking a nice deep breath and attuning now to your birth mother and father, connecting to the I am presence of their energy at the oversoul highest level, and connecting to them, whether present in physical form or in other dimensions or unavailable emotionally, it does not matter. You're connecting into the DNA. This DNA now is threading itself as you're spiraling along it, and it is moving in as an arrival of your ancestors is taking place. Feeling the ancestors coming in, many of them flooding in. They are pouring in right now, and they are coming in on the mother-father line and expanding through the tree of life, higher and higher as they are branching out. You're simply floating and moving through the genetic coding and allowing it to take you wherever it is that it takes you, as it is bringing you back through linear time, as it is creating more of a holographic field for you to arrive in this moment. Wherever it is that these energies were fully embodied in an easy way, without struggle, in the magic and deep connection to both the elements of the great Mother Earth and the connection to the web of life, much like that of the great grandmother spider, but also then attuned to the stars, the celestial beings, the constellations, and the movement of them in relationship to the opening of allowing the starships to arrive in the information from what it would appear the heavens above to merge as they were able to receive information for great healings and technologies that were embedded within the earth that created a grid that is still present but deactivated on your current planet, built through mostly the pyramids and the shapes of the tetrahedron that is located in places to this day still unnoticed or recognized, deep within the ocean, and of course on the surface in obvious places such as Egypt, but in many places in smaller formations that are not seen and recognized, but are now beginning to come back online. Attuning to and bringing yourself back and recognizing where it is that you are arriving, where the lineage was fully awake at that moment and operating in its full systems. You may find yourself on the shores by the water where the dolphins are swimming. You may find yourself in the desert with the deep sand beneath your feet and the hot sun on your face. You might find yourself in the jungle, moving and jumping over the stones and through the rivers and up into the trees, calling out to the animal kingdom and deeply connected to the forest and its grove. And there are many places you may be arriving, and wherever it is in alignment with the remembering of gathering in sacred circle, attuning to ceremony, and aligning with all kingdoms, unified in one field with the capacity to attune to all gifts in a deep recognition of knowing and remembering. Allowing yourself to take a deep breath and becoming aware of where you are, and allowing the particular ancestor that is showing up for you to appear. This ancestor will appear to you, and you will become clear as the mist begins to fade away as to exactly where you are, what the ancestor looks like, connecting here with this energy. You may be taken to the water or the fire or into a cave. Just allow yourself to follow the footsteps of your ancestor, to walk in their shoes, and to arrive wherever it is that you are being taken. And to take a moment in silence now to receive the wisdom, the information, the knowledge that they need to share with you in this now moment, to bring forth into this current timeline, to assist you in deep cellular healing on every level in preparation for the times ahead. Now allowing your younger self, you as a little girl or boy, to appear, attuning to yourself as a small child in a state of innocence, purity, and sweetness, where you are glowing with your life essence and your purpose, a sense of awe and magic about the world, attuning to that aspect of self. And we are now connecting and merging your greatest ancestor and your lineage as far back as you were taken with this child self, and allowing them to meet one another and to begin to commune. As you are communing, you can realize, if you are wanting, but we are aware, that there is a table that is here with a map upon it, where the blueprint of your lineage and your DNA, the gifts that are embedded in here, and the contracts for this lifetime are present, tuning to these frequencies and merging them as your greatest ancestor brings you close in, holding the child self. She is placing the hand of her hand or his hand upon your heart. And there is a quickening happening, as if all the information and downloads needed at the highest level for the genetic coding of upgrade are moving and passing through time and portal gateways, entering into the heart, moving into the cells, tuning in through spin points within the DNA, and it is lighting up. You are plasmic light and love. This is who you are and who you have always been. As you are shedding now layers of old programming, dissolving the energy and debris that is weighing you down, and opening up into new frequencies as they begin to bloom. Allowing a blossoming to happen as you feel a lotus blooming upon the crown, a light pouring down from above from the stars. As it hits the center point of the lotus, it turns to crystal, spiraling down through your body and pranic tube. This crystalline light moves and separates into both legs and into your feet. The pyramids are formed, spiraling down into the core as an opening happens within the inner earth. An awakening there of the great indigenous ones and teachings of the ancestors begin to rise, and the spiral DNA information that has been stored and closed off from surface dwellers is accessed and opened as it rises and begins to spin. The Fibonacci sequence coding up through the base of the feet and through the pranic tube and back out the crystal upon the head into the celestial realms, allowing the expansion of these codes of light to move through you. You have completed many codes and will continue now, moving into the new year, to receive them at a different level. A new octave is now available for you to tune into, like on a radio station, and experience moving forward. And so it is. All right. Coming into the presence of the here and now. Taking a nice deep breath and breathing in and letting go. Taking with you and receiving whatever information came through. Making time to journal, write down this information. All right. Hmm. All right. So that was a lot of energy. It may not have moved in a linear format. I'm sorry for the disruption. Clearly, it was part of what was happening. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of tingling and shaking in my own body. A lot moving through the body. Should be also moving through you. And just allow yourself to be in receiving, all right, of all of this. So sweet. So today is Sunday. If you're in the membership, I'll see you in the morning at 9 a.m. Otherwise, we'll have another call next Sunday. I think there's another Sunday before the big activation, right? I think so. The activation's on the 21st. All right. Thank you, everybody. Much love. Oh, see you in Yardley, Val. How exciting. Yeah, I will be on the Prancing Peacock at 4 o'clock for a live event. But looking forward to that. God knows what will happen there. In person after today. All right, I guess we can unmute everybody. You can say love, love, love.